Hey everyone, great to be here with you today. I hope you're having a fantastic week. I'm excited to be doing some work with you today, and we have amazing questions in. So let's get into it. Let me just pull out the questions. I seem to have, oops, misplaced them for a moment. There we go. Okay, let's do this. Number one, how can I connect more with my baby inner child? It's easy for me to see when my 10-year-old is anxious and afraid, but I only notice my 3-year-old when she's being playful. That's good. Back to the question. How can I get to know her better so that I can soothe her and meet her needs? Okay. So the reason, first of all, well done for asking this question. And one of the problems with this part of us is that the reason why it's difficult to connect to the inner 3-year-old is because he or she or they are effectively our blind spot. So, please don't feel badly about struggling with this. We're not meant to, Carl Jung himself actually talked about the inner children as like the shadow side. So, something that's not easy to detect and not easy to connect to. So don't feel too badly about it. Let's look at some strategies that might help you with this. So this is really exciting for me. I love that you're noticing the playfulness of your baby inner child. That's just fantastic. What I would say to you is, check if your inner 3-year-old is an information collector or a decision maker, because then you'll start to recognize, is she coming up on when you're making decisions? Is she coming up when you're collecting information? Like what does she do? What's her kind of function? What's her gig? And then, start observing yourself then. And then if she's an information collector, look at her like, is she intuitive or is she sensory? So is she obsessed with the kind of the seeing, tasting, touching, feeling, those kinds of things, sensations, those kinds of things? Or is she, really into thinking about things that could happen, imagining things or coming up with great new ideas or stories? Because that will then tell you, like, if she's intuitive, then she's likely to do that. If she's sensory, then she's likely to go with the sensory experience, so to speak. If she's a decision maker, then if she's a thinker or a feeler, then you'll kind of know, you'll be able to say, oh, okay, my inner 3-year-old is a feeler, so whenever I'm feeling things, that's when she's coming up. Or a thinker, and so you're going like, whenever I need to like order things out there in the world or in here, in my mind, then that's when she's coming up. And that's how you'll start to recognize her a lot more. And once you've recognized her, then you can start asking her questions like, how are you feeling right now? What do you need right now? So that you can really get going with getting to know what her needs are, and then start, soothing her by giving her what she needs. So I hope that answers your question. What a great question. Thank you so much for that. If you have any further comments, confusions, questions on that, just pop them into the comments section. Happy to continue this conversation.